there, everybody. How's it going? It's Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on FlossTube. I am coming to you with Big Brother Stitchy Game Week 5, and I am here to give you some starting points. So it's currently Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. This is a vlog series, video series, as I stitch along with the CBS television show Big Brother. I essentially let what the house guests do on that show dictate what I work on and for how much. So that's what this is. If you are looking for a how to play, in the description box of this video, I have linked to my Big Brother Stitchy Game playlist, as well as directly to that video. So you're more than welcome to head there and check it out. Also, you will see links to some worksheets if you want to jump in at any point. Come on and join us. If you watch Big Brother, or if you don't, come and stitch with us. It's a lot of fun. So it's Tuesday, as I mentioned. Dropped my kid off for her first day of school. And I'm okay. Doing okay. I went and ran some errands, and now I am here to give you my starting points for the week. My husband and I, we weren't able to watch the newest episode on Sunday night when it originally aired, which is why I'm going to on Tuesday. But we did watch last night, and yeah. So, things. The episode that aired on Sunday included our new head of household competition. And the new HOH was crowned. It was surprising. My husband kept saying, "Oh, no way, no way." Yep. Ava won head of household. She seems to be somewhat aloof, but she won head of household. I have a feeling that her personality is aloof. Like she's a bit of an eccentric personality. But I don't think that is an indicator of unintelligence. Like I think she's smart. So we'll see how this week goes for her. So the full coverage project I have assigned to Ava is Blue Ridge. So this is a design. The artist is McCrea, or McCrea. I'm not sure. And it's charted by crossstitch.com. So I will link it in the description box below in case you're looking for it. It's a super adorable little full coverage design, less than 40,000 stitches total. But it's beautiful, and I'm enjoying it so far. So I am going to, of course, insert a preview of what it will look like finished, as well as what it looked like at the start of the week. So I worked on this last night and also this morning. My HOH project is a daily 100, and so I have done my daily 100 for both yesterday and today. And I have this on the Nerge, and it's still attached to my corner clamp from my Lowry. But it's super little. Look at how cute. Look at how cute this is. So I have to give a shout out here to Susan of Criminally Creative. I got her needle minder. Thank you, Susan, for that. While we were at the Chatelaine retreat a few weeks ago. And since Susan is the reason that I have to stitch this, she showed it on her channel, and I dove right in. I thought this was the perfect project for that, but of course I've got to have a little hokey representation and this cool bear with sort of a mountainy landscape in its background. Anyway, that's the needle minder tour. Forgive how I've got this set up. It's just how it's clamped in my corner clamp. So I started this earlier this year. This was one of my starts for New Start WhipGo, which is a WhipGo board that I have since abandoned. But anyway, I started it earlier this year, and so my two blocks that I've done so far are this one and this one. But I've decided that I'm going to stitch this one in kind of long diagonals. I'm not going to stick to page borders. And so tomorrow my block will be this one up here, and then I'll continue down the rest of my diagonal. So that is where I am currently. This is really gentle, easy stitching. It is calming. The colors are flowing. It's several colors going on here, certainly, but it's not confetti. It's not ninja stitches. It's just easy movement. I'm enjoying it very much so. So that is where I am currently. Fabric is a 25 count easy grid Lugano from Zweigart. I am stitching 1/1 full cross with the called for DMC. Like I said, this is less than 40,000 stitches total, and it's also less than 50 colors. Like this is a really great introduction to full coverage. This is a good one. That is where I am with my HOH for Ava, and I will continue to work on this every day. So there's that. With Ava being HOH, I wasn't sure who her nominations were going to be. I knew that she was working with Rachel, but other than that, I wasn't sure really where her allegiances, where they sat. Over the course of the episode that aired on Sunday, it became apparent that she's with kind of the house majority. So we had a repeat person hit the block, and that is Keanu. So Keanu's on the block again, and we'll see if he four-peats and wins the veto tomorrow night. But in the meantime, I've got to work on his project for his nomination. So again, in this project bag, this is a stitch and button bag. And again, this is The Things We Bury by Unconventional X Stitch. The artist here is Emerald Barkley. As much as I would like the variety of working on some other people's projects, and I would like the drama of there being some different people on the block, I am also excited to work on this some more and get another at least 200 stitches into it. So this is my starting point for The Things We Bury. And I will probably work on this. I'm going to be honest, I'll probably save this one for last. If I'm a betting woman, it's going to be Keanu that wins the veto again. So I'm going to save this one for last. Fabric here is a 25 count vintage Stormy Night Lugana from Zweigart. I am stitching this 1/1 full cross with the called for DMC. And I'll just keep working in my diagonals. So that is the starting point for Keanu's project for this week. Then up next, it became obvious who the next person was going to be nominated, and that is Vinnie. So I hope that I didn't jinx him by saying what I did in my last vlog about him being my favorite. But anyway, Vinnie's project lives in this bag. This is a bag by Emily, the Popup Stitcher, and all the bag makers that I can are linked in the description box. So in here lives A Symphony of Friendship, which is by Cottage Garden Samplings. And let me pull out the cover so that y'all can see this. Very large design. I'm up here. So 200 stitches are owed to this one. And this one will probably be the one that I do today. Yeah, I think I'll probably tackle this one today. Because I don't expect Vinnie to win the veto. I just think the odds are stacked against him, given who else we know for certain is participating, even without knowing what the veto competition is. Not sure. I'm hoping for Otev. For those who are new to watching Big Brother, Otev is veto spelled backwards, and it's one of my favorite veto competitions. It's a kind of a Big Brother classic. So anyway, this is my starting point. Fabric here is 40 count Newcastle linen in probably Little Bunny by Extra Designs. I'll reiterate that story when I work on this. I'm stitching this using the DMC's called for, and I also converted the fancy flosses called for to DMC. So I'll definitely finish out this acorn and probably some more leaves. 200 stitches will get me probably 2.5 leaves. So we'll make a little bit of headway on this piece. And then the third nominee, I was hoping that we were going to get somebody new on the block, but I wasn't super optimistic about it. I thought for sure Kelly was going to be our third again. And then I was hoping that it was going to be Ashley, but I'm still pleased with Ava's choice. It just felt like she was definitely gently encouraged to not choose Ashley, and she folded like a deck of cards. Anyway, so the third nominee is Zach. Zach is interesting because he played baseball for the minor leagues. He played for my local minor league team, the Fredericksburg Nationals. So I thought that was interesting, just to see his Fredericksburg Nationals ball cap. That was like, whoa. So anyway, so living in this project bag. This is a bag by Black Cat X Stitchery. I've got 3 different bag makers this time. This is Owliver. So this is my most recent start. And this is Owliver by Yasmin's Made with Love. And I owe this project another 200 stitches. I'll probably work on this tomorrow. This I just very recently started. So that will be interesting. Now, Zach has a superpower that I totally forgot about. He won it in week 1, episode 1, like the first 20 minutes of the episode, where he has $10,000 cash that he can actually buy his safety if he so chooses. And I think they play the veto first before he makes that choice. So that will be interesting to see. If he does that, then I won't do the extra 100 stitches because that's a previous competition that he won that for. Using a superpower, for me anyway, using a superpower or a secret advantage, what have you, isn't the same thing necessarily as winning the secret advantage or the superpower. So anyway, we're going to start off with 200 stitches and see what the rest of the week brings. There might be more than one replacement nominee this week. Could be interesting. The plot thickens. Kelly still has a chance to see the block. So that's where we are at currently with Big Brother week 5. I had a question I was going to ask y'all, and it has escaped me. So if it comes to me, I'll post it in another clip. So I'm going to head off here, get to stitching, and I will check in later with some updates. See you then. Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Sunday again. It is what it is. I filmed on Thursday a regular update that is live, and it took the entire time that my daughter was at school for me to film, clean up, and edit that, and get it uploaded. I thought that I was going to have a few minutes to be able to try to film some mini clips, and it just never came together. So I wasn't able to film on Thursday. And then, as mentioned in that update video, my husband is out of town for a gaming retreat. He comes back today. But he's been out of town, so I've been solo parent. And so I haven't been able to pop in and film. So it is what it is. So we're going to do our, what is becoming typical end of the Big Brother week catch up. And I'm going to show you everything that I've worked on this week. for which we have 5 projects to catch you up on. So let's get to it. And we're going to start off with what you can see here, right here in the top corner, or in the bottom corner rather. This is my Blue Ridge. So Blue Ridge is by Derek McCrea. The charting company is crossstitch.com. I will link that in the description box below in case you are after this. This was my project for Ava's head of household. So her head of household has come to an end, and I have finished up my stitching for the week. So I have numbers here. There they are. I did 938 stitches this week. It was supposed to be a daily 100 for 7 days, but the way that I stitch this piece, I am always overstitching. I did almost an entire additional block with the overstitching down here. So it's always going to add up to more until I get to the end than like the stitches called for, if you will. So yeah, 938 stitches this week. I am now at 3,104 stitches done of a total 37,632. This is a really little design. It's really, really adorable. Here, let me take this off and show you. This is it. That's the whole thing. So yeah, not a big design at all, but I love it. I love it. I love it. And 8.25% complete. So closing in on 10% already, and I just started this in February of this year. It's pretty great. So if Ava has another HOH, then I will put some more stitches into this. But no HOH can be HOH back-to-back weeks, so it won't be this week. Anyway, so that's where we got to with Ava's head of household. And I kind of liked how things went this week. I mean, yeah, I liked how things went this week. It was interesting. There were some different things that happened, certainly. Okay, so my last clip, I had yet to even start on the nominations. So let's go ahead and let me show you nominations and I mean everything else. So first up in this project bag, this is a bag by the Popup Stitcher, linked in the description box below, along with all the other bag makers I can. I think I've already said that about this one, but anyway. So this is a Symphony of Friendship, and this was for Vinnie's nomination. That's all that ended up happening for Vinnie this week. He was just nominated, but he survived the week. So I put in my 200 stitches as required. Fabric is a 40 count Newcastle linen from XG Designs in the colorway Little Bunny, I believe. And I'm stitching this using DMC. It's mostly DMC with a couple of fancies as called for, but I swapped for DMC just to simplify things. And the before and afters on this one, I mean 200 stitches, you can only get so far with that. Just a couple of new leaves were added in. I did 226 stitches. I find it virtually impossible to stop at just the 200 mark, or at any kind of even mark. I usually finish the motif I'm working on or the thread or, you know, what have you. So 226 stitches this week. Moving along slowly but surely. So the next time I work on this, whenever Vinnie does anything else except for head of household, I will continue working my way across. I'm kind of working this in rows of 10 by 10 blocks on this first page here. So yeah, we'll be coming over here. I think we might even get the first branch here pretty soon. So that's cool. I love this piece. I really, really enjoy it. 200 stitches did not feel like enough, but nothing else happened for Vinnie. So there we have it, which I think he's probably okay with having survived the block. Okay, up next we have Keanu. Keanu is he is this season's block darling. He's just gonna move in to the block, I think. So he was nominated. He also won the BB Blockbuster this week. So he did not win veto. That's very interesting. But he did win BB Blockbuster, so he was off the block. I have not done my BB Blockbuster stitches yet because I did my stitching for his nomination, took this off the frame, moved on to something else, and then he won BB Blockbuster. So I will throw in that additional 100 stitches probably this week if he gets nominated again. Or if he is head of household, then I will work on his full coverage piece for that. But then, inevitably he's going to win OTEV. I mentioned OTEV in my first clip for this week. And this week was not OTEV, but OTEV is coming week 6, and so I'm geeked about it. Anyway, let me go ahead and show you the progress. Upside down. So this is a 25 count Stormy Night Lugana from Zweigart, stitching 1/1 full cross on, did I even mention the project? I'm saying it week after week, clip after clip. This is The Things We Bury by Unconventional X Stitch. The artist is Emerald Barkley. This is a no background full coverage piece. So it's, under my criteria, it's not a full coverage piece, but it's stitching up. I stitch it like it's a full coverage piece. Anyway, I owe this project 200 stitches for Keanu's 5th nomination, fourth, I think. Anyway, maybe it's his 5th, with one of those being a renom. Anyway, so I did this block here, which had some more edge of the petal there, and this block here, which is all snake, and the sort of center spine, not spine, but center ridge of the snake. So that's where we got to. So 212 stitches this week, 4,977 stitches complete now, of a total of 97,776. I am at 5.09% complete. And I think the 5% is a new thing. I think that's new. Very, very exciting. I love this piece. And I mean, I'm not mad if Keanu finds himself on the block and winning vetoes all season. He can do that right on to the end, as far as I'm concerned, because I love getting to work on this one. Lots and lots of fun. Maybe at the end of week 6 I'll do some sort of overall stats so far. Maybe that would be fun, just to see what projects, like a leaderboard of progress. Maybe I need to do that. Things to think about. So that is Keanu. As mentioned, I will throw in that additional 100 stitches. We're going to see how things go tonight. If I can watch the new episode tonight. So we'll see how it goes. And if he gets nominated again, then I'll just tack on that additional 100 stitches. Okay, up next, let's get to who did win the veto. This was surprising. In a week of surprising, this was surprising. Ava was an unexpected head of household, at least from my perspective. And her promising Zach safety and then putting him on the block anyway, that was surprising. And then Kat won the veto, which I just wasn't expecting that. My husband, he's got this conspiracy theory that if they go in the diary room and they say things like, oh, I'm going to win this veto, I'm going out there, I'm going to win this veto, then they are almost guaranteed not to. And then Kat did that. She said, I'm going to win this veto. And then she did win this veto. So that was pretty cool. So I got to pull out a different project. And not surprising, maybe the least surprising, is that it's a Halloween project. So yeah, I got lots of Halloween projects assigned for Big Brother this year. which is cool. So this is a project bag by the Pineapple House. I have nothing to link for that. And this project is The Garden of Eerie by Plum Straight Samplers. An old kind of setup here for Plum Straight. So we have Garden of Eerie. I started this piece in 2019, and it is shameful how far I am not in those almost 6 years. It was October of 2019 when I started this. So I'm stitching this using the called for DMC. I am doing it on a 32 count Belfast linen from Under the Sea Fabrics in double dipped Keanu. So Keanu is one of the colorways. I don't know if it's a regular line colorway, but this is a double dye. So the colorway is a lot richer than it was originally. And so here's where I am currently. 2/2 full cross with the call for DMC as mentioned. And I worked primarily in my 10 by 10 block thing, but then if I had, like for instance, I did this pair of leaves here, and so whatever thread I had left, then I found another place to put it, kind of a thing. Just kind of working on those scattered leaves still hanging on to the big old tree. And then I came over here and worked on the cloud, similar, and threw in a lightning bolt. I love these clouds. I think they're really cool. Really, really cool. So 320 stitches this week. This is a paper chart, so I don't have any stats, but 320 stitches for Cat's unexpected veto win. And then, surprise of surprises, she chose not to use it. I thought she was gonna. I thought we were gonna have a really spicy end of week. But she chose not to use it, and I kind of understand. I understand the thinking that went into her choosing not to use it. It also, I mean, had the potential of putting Riley up. Her winning the veto means that she is safe from being put up as a renomination, but it would not keep her showmance safe necessarily. So anyway, so I understand it, but it was almost a really, really interesting end of week. So we get to our last project for the week, and that is Zach. So Zach was one of the nominees for the week. He did not win veto. He did not win, he did not win veto, and then he chose not to use his superpower, which, from a board gaming thing, always remember your superpowers. I get it. It's $10,000 that he got to take home, but if it meant that he was able to get to the $750,000, that feels like a good return. That feels like a good ROI. But anyway, so he did not use his superpower. And then he did not win BB Blockbuster and was evicted over Vinnie. I think it came down to like 8-2. Was that the final vote? So it wasn't totally unanimous, but yeah. So my Zach project lives in this project bag here. This is a bag by Black Cat X Stitchery. This is Owliver by Yasmin's Made with Love. And so for Zach's nomination and eviction, I needed 700 stitches into this piece this week. So I did 749, and this was really wonderful stitching. I really, really, really enjoyed this. So I'm gonna show you here where I got to, and then we'll talk about the details. Fabric is a 40 count Newcastle linen from Fortnite Fabrics, which is, of course, you can't get this anymore. The colorway is called Shark Fin. So it's a neutral with some gray, blue gray kind of tone to it. I am stitching this using the called for DMCs 1/2, and we've got like for real owl shape going on here. I'm really impressed. Things are really coming together. Kind of hodgepodgey, like there's bits incomplete everywhere, but yeah, coming together. So I am now at 936 stitches complete of 9,631 stitches total, which is 9.72%. That percentage is a little bit off because I'm not going to stitch the single stitch border that goes around the whole thing and frames it. I'm going to, when I finish this, frame it in such a way that it achieves the same thing. So my percentage is a little bit off. It's a little bit higher than that because I won't be doing those stitches. So that is where I am with Owliver, and this project goes to bed because Zach has, of course, now been evicted. He was the closest thing to sort of the hometown house guest this year. Jimmy, of course, was he's from DC, so he's a little bit of a hometown house guest for me this year, and so they're both done for. So anyway, so that is Owliver. So that's how we finish out week 5. It was an interesting week. The first time this season the veto was not used, so the first time I did not have a renomination to stitch for, but also some different people sort of getting into the mix now. Anyway, so I'm going to head off here, get this edited together and posted for you all, and we'll see tonight what happens. I will admit I was spoiled by who the head of household is, but that is for next week's vlog. So I'm going to head off. As always, happy stitching. I hope that if you are stitching for Big Brother that you are enjoying this. We are 5 weeks done and still quite a ways to go yet. There's still plenty of game left to be played, plenty of stitching left to do. Very exciting. Okay, everybody, as always, be kind. See you in the next one. Take care.